So we're going to jump right into the confidence section, and this will be the second podcast that we'll upload. So talk a little bit about how you inspire confidence as a leader. You talked a lot in the last portion about holding your employees accountable, but at the same time being patient and empathetic to make sure that they feel that they have the tools they need and have you behind them so that they can get the job done to the best of their abilities. So, how, as a leader, can you inspire that confidence in the people who report to you?
I think inspiring confidence, particularly as a leader, um, it's the listening to others is number one thing that's often glossed over or
Mm.
misunderstood. And I'm talking about active listening. By actively and uh, and uh, and this is going to sound strange, but graciously listening to others, it's extremely important before you do anything else to inspire confidence. And I
What do you
say
mean by
that
graciously listening to others?
we often listen naturally from our perspective. That's natural. But it's trying to understand, gracious listening is trying to understand where the other person is coming from.
Mm.
That sounds easy, but it's hard because I'm not pretending, and I would hate for you to ask some of the people who know me well, because I do at times fail at that. That's for sure. So I'm not pretending otherwise. But gracious listening, when you're talking about inspiring confidence or even just being in relationship with someone, but let's leave it at inspiring confidence, it's where you listen carefully, but it's gracious listening. When people see you are graciously listening, it's just amazing how you connect and bond with that person because they feel accepted. I'm not saying you agree necessarily with them. Many times you probably don't, or you may not. But it's being able to really, some people would say wear someone's shoes. But
Mm.
I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about agreeing, but where you really get where that person is coming from and they get, you get it. I
Exactly.
would, if you do that, and it's much harder than said, people will then generally have a greater sense of trust in what
For sure.
you contribute and offer. That's the first step in inspiring leader. People want to know you get them before they get you, before you ask them to get you. If you start off just speaking to people without trying to understand what is individual or group where they're at, it could be a particular function where the human resources department or the finance department or the legal department, if you get where they're coming from and each come from a different vantage point, and then you drop down to the individual level, they're bringing a different perspective. They're bringing a particularly a particular different need. Your ability to really hear where they're coming from and speak to that and be responsive to that inspires confidence, and put another one, inspires confidence, inspires a belief that this is someone I can work with. This is
Mm.
someone I can trust. This
Right.
is someone I can listen to. This is someone I possibly can follow. Now that doesn't happen on first blush, but that's how you constantly show up, and you're being authentic. It's very important to be authentic. And that underlies everything we're talking about, whether you're trying to inspire confidence or are or you are integrity, a leader of integrity. You got to be authentic underlying all of your interactions.
Absolutely. So, talk a little bit about what happens if a leader fails to inspire confidence. If a leader can't get that trust and get that buy in and can't graciously listen, what happens?
Well, I would. That's the easiest question I've had in a long time, because all I would, all I to answer that question, all I would need to do is encourage anyone to look to their left, look to their right, look above, and in their workplace, and let them answer that question. It leads to chaos is too strong, but it leads to people not understanding their roles and responsibilities in a workplace. It leads to a high level of distrust. It leads to a great degree of CYA, cover your, let's just say, backside. Uh, it does. It leads to people not feeling confident enough to contribute what they have to offer because they feel they're not in a safe environment. And it leads in general to instability and inefficiencies in getting things done from a senior management or leadership position. And so confidence is extremely important, and leadership does start, I believe, from the bottom to the top and from the top to the bottom. It flows both ways.
Hmm. So, talk about one particular time that you're really proud of where you were able to inspire confidence in someone who reported to you, in another leader. Talk about the way that, you as a leader of integrity were able to pull out confidence in somebody else.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to talk about it in a much broader context
Sure.
or my experience as a being responsible for strategic business development. When I took on a new organizational initiative to create a multi-distribution channel, to do that, I had to engage about 16 different functional groups. And by that I mean HR, legal, finance, risk management, marketing, and other departments. And to successfully bring those all together to work as a team, it required me to meet with each one of those departments, and some of the people I knew, some I didn't know as well, the leaders in those different departments, and to listen to just what I said, what was one, to tell them what the senior management group and the senior and executive management group were trying to get accomplished here in building these distribution channels, convey to them how we saw them fitting in. Equally, if not more important, listening to these different department leaders, what their concerns were, what their needs were. Something as simple as they need more resources, simple as I'm talking about people resources, something as simple as not so simple as they didn't have the know-how to get from point A to C because of the structures they had already, the structure and culture they have in place. So building confidence by understanding each one of those function areas or department areas, needs, concerns, and conveying to them how they fit in and being flexible in how they fit in. I'm not sure that answered your question, but that's
No, I think it answered it beautifully.
yeah, that's how we build confidence. And just so you know, this was a 3-year project, got 18 different functions and departments that weren't accustomed to working together in this way because each department usually work in their own silos. We call them
Hmm.
silos. And they work in their own silos. And to bring them together on this major initiative that was set out by the executive senior management and to get it built in 3 years, this multi-distributional channel that did not exist. Many people betted against us, but the reason we were successful was because of the buy-in across the organization, which
For
took a
sure.
lot of work as far as just what we've been talking about, inspiring confidence, but more building the relationship, building trust, creating a clear vision, and so that's how we get. That is one example of how confidence was inspired, created, and built.
Right. Now, you said the project took 3 years. How long did it take to get the buy-in? Because I imagine all of the people across the various departments were not only nervous, but for the relationships, but nervous that the whole project might not work out. So, how did you, or how long did it take for you to get their buy-in so that you could execute this project in 3 years?
Well, one, because it came from the executive senior management of the organization, it's a Fortune 500 company. It wasn't like we got to decide that I've decided not to buy in, so we're not doing it. So there is a reality there.
Right.
But with that said, that doesn't mean because people are, and this goes to your question, because people are overtly doing what they ask, that they have the commitment to it slash the buy-in. So it really it depended. Some people initially, we're talking now change management also, because what we're doing was vastly different from how the organization usually operated. So some people love the change because they saw this as a new opportunity. They bought in right away and said, Jones, what took you so long? What took you and the organization so long to go in this direction? Others viewed it as more threatening to the way they did business or the way they operate, and or they were very comfortable how they did things. Those type of folks, depending on the individual, depending on the department, depending on the leadership, it varies. It could vary anywhere from a month to 3 months to 6 months to possibly even a year. And of course, you're going to have those who never buy in, and that's fine. You're not going to get everyone, but you have to create a situation with those individuals, very important, where they still view it in their interest to execute on the overall organization's vision and goal.
Right, 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 right.